Alright class, today we're going to learn about some really important processes that are constantly changing the surface of the Earth. These processes are called weathering, erosion, and deposition, and they happen very slowly over time. Even though these changes take a long time, they shape our world in incredible ways, by moving rocks, soil, and other materials from one place to another. Let's dive in and explore how water, wind, and ice are responsible for making these changes happen. Let's start with weathering. Weathering is the process where rocks and other materials on Earth's surface get broken down into smaller pieces. There are two main types of weathering: physical weathering and chemical weathering. Physical weathering happens when rocks are broken apart by physical forces like wind, water, or ice. Imagine a rock sitting in a river for years. Over time, the flowing water can wear it down and make it smaller. Ice can also break rocks apart when water seeps into cracks, freezes, and expands, making the cracks bigger and eventually splitting the rock. On the other hand, chemical weathering occurs when rocks are broken down because of chemical reactions, like when rainwater mixes with chemicals in the air and causes the rock to break apart. After weathering breaks the rocks into smaller pieces, the next process, called erosion, takes over. Erosion is when the broken down pieces of rock, soil, and other materials are picked up and moved by wind, water, or ice. Let's think about a windy day at the beach. As the wind blows, it can pick up sand and carry it to another spot. Or imagine a river flowing down a mountain. It can pick up pieces of rock and soil and carry them far away. Even glaciers, which are large sheets of ice, can move rocks and soil as they slowly slide across the land. Erosion is all about the movement of materials from one place to another. Now, after erosion moves these materials, we have deposition. Deposition happens when the wind, water, or ice slows down and drops the materials it was carrying. For example, as a river flows into a lake or ocean, it slows down and drops the soil and rocks it was carrying, forming new areas of land called deltas. On a windy day, the sand that's carried by the wind eventually settles and forms sand dunes. Even glaciers deposit rocks and soil when they melt, leaving behind piles of material called moraines. Together, weathering, erosion, and deposition work as a system to constantly change Earth's surface. These processes create patterns of change that we can observe over time, but they happen very slowly. Over thousands or even millions of years, these processes can form mountains, valleys, rivers, and coastlines. So, let's think about how these processes are all connected. Weathering breaks down rocks into smaller pieces, erosion moves those pieces, and deposition drops them in a new place. Each process is important in shaping the world around us. The next time you see a river, a sandy beach, or a mountain, remember that these landforms were created over time by the forces of weathering, erosion, and deposition from water, wind, and ice.